Hello, lovely young people. All right, let's take some notes together. Today we're talking about percents of a number. Okay, so if I'm at the store and it's like, okay, I'm only going to pay 20% of this $60 item, that's great. How much am I going to pay? Okay, let's figure it out. First, we need to write the percent right here, percent. I'm going to write it as a fraction or a decimal, depending on what I want to work with. Sorry, this is really wobbly. I'm using a very old writing desk right now. Okay, so then we're going to multiply. Why am I going to multiply? Oh, is it because of that lovely thing that Mrs. Bryant taught us forever ago, that of means multiply? So if I have 20% of 60, I'm going to multiply? What? Concepts coming back around, folks. We've got this. Okay, so 20%. How do I write that as a decimal? We know this. We just go bloop, bloop. Oh, wait, this way. Doot, doot. Okay. 0.2 or 20 hundredths, 2/10, all the same, times 60 should equal 12. Let's figure out if that's right too. Let's try it as a fraction. Be 1/5, 20 over 100. We reduce that down to 1 over 5. Okay. Times 60 equals 12. How do I know that this works? Well, let's look at it this way. So this is telling me that 12 is 1/5 of 60. Yeah, look, I've got a lovely model over here. If I break my 60 up into 5 equal chunks of 20%, 20%, 20%, 20%, 20%, 20%, oh, look at that. One of them equals 12, which means each of these is the same as 1/5. So how can I prove that 12 out of 60 is the same as 1/5? Oh, thank you for asking. I'm so glad you're here. All right. Well, we can take 12 of 60. So we have like 12 out of 60. Sorry, not of. Out of. 12 out of 60. Let's turn this into a percentage and see if we get 20%. Now, I don't love this. This isn't easy to jump to 100. So I'm going to divide by 6. And I end up with 10 on the bottom. Do the same, divide by 6. I end up with 2. Oh, interesting. 2/10, which is the same as 20/100, which is the same as, whoop, whoop, 20%. I know, it's very wobbly. Just stay with me, people. Yay, math. So full circle here. 20% of 60 is the same as saying 20% times 60, which is telling me that 1/5 of 60 is 12. Magic. So let's come back up here. What our goal is we take the percent times the whole, which we know is the bottom of our fraction here, the out of, and it equals the part. So 20% of 60 is the same as saying 12 out of 60. All right. Let's look at it. Let's look at some more. Let's do some more math. Yes, math. Okay. So 25% of 40. We're gonna do this first as a fraction. They want us to do it as a fraction. So that would be 25%. That as a fraction. Oh, if I have 25 cents, that's 1/4, which is 1/4 of, multiply, 40. Okay. So, make sure, for multiplying with fractions, we should make it a fraction. So 1 times 40 is 40. 4 times 1 is 4. which gives me 10. So 25% of 40 is 10. Oh, and look at that. We know this works because we've broken it up into 25% chunks, which is the same as 1/4 chunks here. Okay, and we can see that 1/4 of our total, 40, is 10. Oh, isn't it lovely how it all comes together? Okay, please don't get too dizzy with all the shaking. You can do this. I believe in you. Just always remember, special effects here. Of means multiply. Okay. Let's look at it like a ratio table. Now, some of you are like, but some of you are like, woo, because you love ratio tables, because they are fantastic. So let's look at this as a ratio table. Now they're giving me 60% of 150. Okay, so I'm going to use the ratio table. We're going to have one row be my part. Okay, part over whole, 60% of 100. 60 out of 100 would be a part to whole here because that would represent 60%, right? So 60 is my part, 100 would be the whole because I've got 60 out of 100. But I want to know if it's out of 150. So how do I get there? Well, I don't want to use decimals here. Let's just use whole numbers. We multiply. So if I go ahead and divide both these numbers by 2, I get 30 over 50. Okay. So 60% of 50 would be 30. It's good to know. Now, how do I get from 50 to 150? Might even think of it as like, how do I get from 5 to 15? Well, times it by 3. Times it by 3. And 30 times 3 is, everybody, I'm going to assume you said 90. Hooray! So 60% of 150 is 90. Either method works. Okay, so now we've learned 3 ways we can do this. We can do this with decimal, we can do this with fraction, or we can do this looking at it like a ratio table. Wouldn't you know it, I've got some practice problems here. I'm going to do one with you, and then I'm going to have your teacher pause it so that you guys can do the other ones. And then we'll talk about this bottom one here. Okay, 90% of 20. 90, I'm going to do fractions. I like fractions. We're going to do fractions. So 90 as a fraction is the same as 90 over 100, which is the same if I reduce it as 9 out of 10. Of, let's multiply. Of means multiply. Of 20. Okay, so now what do I do? Oh, I make that a fraction too? Okay. Can I don't know, cross cancel? Yes, I can. Bloop, divide that by 10. Divide that by 10. 90% of 20 is now 9 times 2, which is 18. Yay! Okay, your turn. I'm assuming someone's going to pause this. I'm going to write a bunch of stuff. They're going to unpause it. Bam, it's going to be there. Is that what you got? Is that what you got? Okay, so 75%, we can reduce that to 3/4. I have 3/4. I've got 3/4. I have 75%. 32, we make that over 1. Cross cancel here. 3 times 8 is 24. Over here, 10%, 1 over 10 of multiply. Okay, we can cross cancel and divide those both by 10. I end up with 1 times 11. We got 11. Over here, 30% of 75. So 30%, 30 over 100 reduces to 3 over 10. 75 over 1. Okay, so I'm going to get something on the bottom because I can't just divide that by 10. I mean, I could, I guess, if I wanted 7.5. I could have done that, but I didn't. I divided them both by 5. Ended up with 3 over 2. It looks weird. It looks like 102, but it's 3 over 2. Trust me. 3 over 2. And then this ends up being 15 over 1. 3 times 15 is 45. 2 times 1 is 2. Okay, well, this is just a division problem. So 45 divided by 2 is 22 and a half. Okay. This last one here, I'm going to read to you guys, have you solve it, and then we'll see if we get the same thing. So a family pays $105 each month for their cell phone service. The cost increased 9%. No. Okay, so how many dollars is the increase? So I need to know what is 9% of 105. That'll tell me my increase. What is the new monthly cost? Okay, so now I have to take my increase and I'll have to add it to my current cost. You got this. You got this. Pause it. Let's see if you do it. All right, so I started doing a fraction and I was like, I don't want to do that. It just looked complicated. So remember, you can also do a decimal. And I almost wrote this wrong because I wrote 0.9 and I was like, that's not going to be right. $94? What? I remembered I forgot my 0. So 9% is 0.09 as a decimal, okay? So I took 0.09 and I multiplied it by my 105 because it's 9% of 105. And we know of means multiply. So once I multiplied it out, I got 945, but that wasn't done yet. I need to move my decimal over, and I end up with $9.45. Then I went ahead and added that to my original cost. And my new cost every month is $114.45. Gross. So now you guys know all about these things, and you can do some more practice. Good luck.